I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 22, and it took me a few years to decipher a lot of the symptoms I was experiencing that, up until then, I thought were normal. Since then, there's one symptom that I've become far more intimate with than any other, and that's forgetfulness. My name is Spooky, and today I'm going to talk about my experiences with ADHD and memory retention. Now, if there's one thing I struggle to remember more than anything, you know what? We'll come back to that. The number of times my forgetfulness has absolutely ruined me is more times than I could ever possibly remember. Not just because of my poor memory, but because it happens so often. Whether it's where I placed an object or why I walked into a room, I probably forgot what I was doing and got distracted before I ever had a chance to start. It's very common for me to place an object down subconsciously in a very weird spot, not realizing that I did it. Then I spend 20 minutes looking for it in the most likely of places, only to find it in the most unlikely of places, and I'm left stumped as to why in the world I would ever place something there. My phone is a great example of an object I always misplace. I lose it all the time in my own house. Hell, I'll even lose track of it when it's in my own hand, then suddenly realize it's in my hand. The most common place I leave my phone is on the bathroom counter, which I do at least once a day, no exaggeration. I also lose my phone in the car. Most people would check that they have everything they need before leaving, but not me. I forget to check until I'm already driving, then go. I should probably make sure I have all my stuff, huh? Wait, where's my phone? Only to start having an anxiety attack when I can't find my phone because it's mounted on the dashboard in front of my face with the GPS. I do it every time. My wife can attest to this because she literally has to tell me to calm down and that my phone is right there. The TV remote is another classic item I forget. Somehow I always manage to lose the TV remote, and you wanna know what the worst part is? It's always in the same places that I always put it. I just never remember putting it there. And somehow the place that it always happens to be in happens to be the last place I check. ADHD forgetfulness doesn't just apply to objects though, it applies to people. When it comes to people, if you're not regularly a part of my life, I'll straight up forget you exist. I get so distracted and fixated on interests in my life that I end up neglecting a lot of other things, especially in a social aspect. It's not personal, it's just how my brain is, which is why unless you're really close to me, you'll probably never hear from me unless you talk to me first. And it's not that I don't care about you, because I do, and if I could not forget you, I would, but it's not a conscious choice. I've lost a lot of friends in my life because of this, and to be honest, I think it's made me talk to people even less as I've gotten older, and I've lost count of the number of times that I've gone to DM a friend that I've known for a long time, only to realize that they were another person who read too hard into my behaviors and took it as me being a neglectful friend. I want friends, I just can't meet the expectations a lot of people have of their friends. I make friends best with the type of people who don't mind being the person to always message me first. And I know that sounds selfish, but it's not coming from a selfish place. It's just something I'm mostly incapable of doing outside of a few times in my life that I can recall. Friendships are give and take though, so whereas you might have to always DM me first, I'll always be down to do whatever you want on your schedule when you want to talk to me, and I won't get offended by that dynamic. And to be honest, I think that's pretty fair. The passage of time itself is another thing I can forget, which is annoying to me and might sound weird to you, but let me explain. I just turned 30. But the world around me still feels the exact same as when I was 20. I guess you could compare it to sitting in the passenger seat of a moving car. Normally, you can look behind you and see stuff leaving, you can look out the windshield and read the signs telling you where the road is taking you, and you can look out the side windows to see where you are now. But for me, with ADHD, it's like the windows are all blacked out except the passenger side window, and I can only see where I currently am. And most times, I'll be unaware there's anything in front of us. So unless you were to tell me we were in another place without being able to look forward and see the signs myself, I'm just gonna assume we're in the same place that we started unless you say otherwise. It's an odd comparison, but Hopefully you fellow ADHDers will pick up what I'm putting down. Another thing that happens relating to time is that I'll get a measurement of time stuck in my head, then never add to it because of my lack of time awareness, which eventually makes me accidentally overcompensate. So, for example, I could say how long I've been doing something, and come next year, there's a good chance I'll say the same number. This can actually stack up over time until someday the topic comes up again and I go, oh geez, it's been a long time since someone asked me this, and then I panic and add an estimated amount of extra time, which usually turns out to be way too much time. Hey, so how long have you been making music? This song's sick. Well, thanks, man. Oh gosh, I don't know, around maybe 22 years now? Whoa, no wonder it's so good. If you're only like 8 years old when you started, that's impressive. I'm also quite forgetful of plans and appointment times. Very often, my wife will be like,
hey, are you almost ready to go see our friends for dinner?
I'm sorry, see who tonight? For what?
Dinner? I literally told you about this yesterday, and 3 days ago, and last week, and it's been on the calendar.
I swear, I don't remember you telling me any of this.
I know, because you said the same thing the last 2 times I told you.
You know, people like to say,
just write it down.
And the main problem with this is that if I don't write it down in a place that's right in front of my face, I'll still forget it and the fact that I ever wrote it down in the first place. My desk already looks like a crazy person lives here. I don't need 400 sticky notes covering every visible surface of it too. For the next one, credit goes out to this bear that figured out how to use the internet and replied to my tweet. Very impressive. It's something that I never thought about myself, despite experiencing it multiple times. ADHD forgetfulness can affect how we process trauma. If something traumatic happens in our life and we have a lot going on, we can literally get distracted from grieving or processing that trauma and forget the event happened. You might think this sounds like a perk, but the moment something reminds us of that trauma, the emotional memory of it can come in like a wrecking ball. And this can happen anywhere, at school, at work, randomly one night trying to fall asleep, you name it. Oh, I remembered what I was gonna say at the start of the video. The most common thing I forget is my current thoughts. I can be talking to someone and forget what I was saying mid-sentence and just stare at them. Then I usually have to ask, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was just talking about. Can you remind me? This happens a lot during conversations with my wife, and she often has to remind me what I was saying, which isn't really a huge problem for us, but when I'm trying to get a job, it's usually the point where the person interviewing me would respond with, "Thank you for your interest, but we'll be moving forward with other candidates." Losing track of my thoughts happens at least once in every conversation I have that's longer than 5 minutes. It's like my thoughts are a ball and my brain is holding it and then just goes, no! And I'm sitting there looking like a deer in the headlights. It's frustrating, but if you think that's bad, you should see me stream over on Twitch where you can see me forget what I'm saying live and in the moment every few minutes. This is why I'm very bad at conversations, because there are 2 things that need to be remembered during a conversation. The first thing is the actual substance of what the person is saying, you know, what they're talking about. But the second thing is remembering your own thoughts to all the things that they have said so far and formulating a reply that checks all the relevant boxes. This isn't a huge problem in short conversations, but the moment someone starts talking at me for more than like 2 to 3 sentences, they'll be lucky if they get a response to the last 1 to 2 things they said, because I already forgot the rest of it and I'm about to forget the only thoughts that I did retain. What a life. Oh my god, the craziest thing happened to me at work yesterday. I gotta tell you about it. Oh, give me the tea. Let's hear it. Okay, so there I am with Stacy restocking the shelves at like 2 a.m. and our manager Jeff comes over. You remember Jeff, I told you about him before. He starts giving us a hard time because we were laughing while working because, you know, people who work together tend to talk and I don't know, jokes are a thing, but we're still doing our job. Anyways, as I was saying.
2 hours later.
And when I came in yesterday morning, it turned out Jeff got freaking fired, dude. The regional manager found him passed out, drunk in his office, completely naked, with mustard on his nipples, empty bottles everywhere. Whoa, wow, that's crazy. To be fair, mustard is pretty good. You know what else is crazy? That I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe because it helps me a lot with this dang algorithm that the kids are always complaining about. Anyways, that's all I really have to say for today. This video was long enough. I'll see you the next time I sporadically have the energy to make another video, although I'm finally on ADHD medicine again, so I don't know, maybe this will just be a thing. Regardless, why are you still here? Click another video on your screen. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Bye!